The reason that we're talking about this today is basically because of a guy called Jonathan Yescas. Now, I'd never heard of him before. I don't think he's particularly like a big name or anything like that. But he has, or had, I should say, a small YouTube channel. Now, what happened basically was he uploaded a bunch of videos. Okay, one of them being called "I'm 25 years old and I never had a girlfriend," and that got 26,000 views, as you can see there, and it caused a bit of a furore on Twitter for various reasons. We're going to see why, but this person here, the based Australian, says this man, Jonathan Yescas, uploaded several videos talking about his unrequited love. Some people have replied to this video with messages of support, although unfortunately some other people made fun of him or called him names. He had to delete his videos and probably his channel, likely because of this. I hope he gets the help he needs. He does not let the resentment boil up and finds a welcoming, supporting, healthy community. Let's pray that the Lord would help him and that one day he would get married. Well, we got a little bit of the Christ pill coming in there already in that advice. But yeah, basically this dude, whose channel unfortunately now appears to have been deleted, made a bunch of videos, and see the comments underneath here. There was a good comment I found on a different thread, actually, that kind of really explains it properly, which I can read out to you. I've got this on my phone to give you just a little bit more context around why this was deemed to be problematic by some people. So basically, because his channel's been taken down, it's hard for us to see everything that happened. But basically, somebody called Myra on X says, if you want more context, read through some of the YouTube comments on his other videos. It explains what was in the deleted one. He made videos where he complains that he's 25 and he can't get a girlfriend, but seems obsessed over this female friend from middle school who ended up getting a boyfriend and didn't like him back. He posted 3 videos about her and deleted one where he shared pictures of her and her kid. Okay, so the main problem, I mean, well, there's various problems here. There's the problem of the fact that here's a dude who's complaining about effectively being an incel, being involuntarily celibate, not being able to get a girlfriend. So that is problematic for a lot of people anyway, because people would be saying, well, he's entitled. Why should he assume that he has a right to have a girlfriend, etc., etc. Also, some of the things that he posted in these videos seemed a little bit obsessive, and that was a cause for, if not concern, it was a cause for comment from certain quarters. And also, as I discovered, and I'm going to show you how I found this out in a minute, he was also posting some fairly sort of kind of personal details on these videos about particularly one of these girls. Sort of, he said where he lived. He's using his own real name. He used her real name in the video. It would be fairly easy probably in the community to find out who the person was, etc., etc. Never a good thing, obviously, to post those kinds of details online, however big or small your channel may happen to be. But in terms of sort of really sort of breaking this down, the issue that we've got,
because when men,
the issue that we've got, of course, is that it appears he's taken his channel down over the weekend. Because what I really wanted to do was have a look at his videos and then react to them. We don't have that because they've taken them down. He's taken them down. However, what we do have is a guy called the Based Pluto, or Morpheus, reacting to the video. So I'm going to show you a little bit of that to start off with, just to give you a bit of context about this Jonathan Yescas guy. I don't want to do too much of that because, for a start, I think it's kind of bad form to be reacting to somebody else reacting to somebody else's video. I mean, that just seems a bit meta and ridiculous. And secondly, this base Pluto guy, Morpheus, he is, by his own description, a doomer. So he's like a black pill guy, which basically means essentially he's going to put everything down to looks and the way that this guy looks. Okay, and that's obviously not really where I'm coming from. And I'm going to explain why as we get into this. And I'm sure that this Morpheus-based Pluto dude probably wouldn't think very much of me because I'm a dating coach, and people from where he's coming from tend to distrust dating coaches immensely because they think that we're just full of nonsense, basically, because, since it's all about looks, there's nothing you can really do about somebody's, actual facial looks. So any sort of self-improvement is seen as a cop-out. However, it's going to be quite useful for us to have a look at a bit of the analysis that he does. Because actually, I do agree with him on some of the points that he makes. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go and look at some other videos that other people have posted, other dudes have posted, talking about them not having a girlfriend at whatever age it is. And we've got some going from like, you know, early 20s up to the 30s and I think beyond. So we're going to have a look at those. And what I really want to do in this whole live is to try and break this down a bit and find out, okay, so what is actually going on here with these dudes? Why have these dudes not had a girlfriend? Is there a common thread here? And most importantly of all, what can you do or what could they do to try and get better results in dating? As I say, somebody like Base Pluto, who's a black pill, you know, doomer guy, is just going to say, well, look, it's fundamentally all about the way he looks. He can't really change that, so he's screwed, right? He's a sub 5, that is, he's under the rating of 5 in the, you know, made up sort of dating marketplace, sexual market value measure. And so therefore the guy's just screwed before he begins. So there's no hope. It's essentially is the kind of message that gets put out there. I disagree with that. I don't think that the reason that most of these guys haven't had girlfriends is actually because of the way they look, or at least I don't think that's the main reason. Obviously, we can all improve our looks. I could get a better haircut, right? We can all do stuff to improve how we present. But in the end, there's so much more to it than that, and we're going to see that in some of these videos. Just having a look at the comments. Troy, oh, I see. Oh, you're saying so. Marriage causes divorce. Saying Troy Francis, get a mushroom cut. Curtains 90s boy band. That's kind of what this dude's got. Yeah, I was never feeling that look. I was never into that in the 90s, and I'm certainly not into it now. He seems creepy. Probably best he doesn't have a girlfriend. The genetics pill. Morpheus had a dating coach, got screwed over by the coach, and now hates all dating coaches. Well, yeah, I mean, I think I've had some dealings with this guy before because I've had like quite a lot of, in the past, quite a lot of interactions with sort of black pill kind of guys coming at me, taking shots, etc. So if he sees this, he'll probably do that again. But, you know, whatever. It is what it is. I mean, I don't actually disagree with, you know, quite a lot of what he says. So let's have a look at this video anyway now, and you'll get to see a little bit of Jonathan Yescas in action.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Because it's like it's needed him.
Again, I don't want to show. Again, I don't really want to show sort of like too much of his commentary, because otherwise it gets like me commenting on his commentary, which is a little bit meta. But I want to see more of Jonathan Yescas, really. But we'll try. And by the same token, there are some things that he says that are quite interesting and useful that we can comment on. So here we go.
What happens? You was in for public school, which I've said also.
I was able to talk to her.
Adulthood. Again, it's very, 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 all right, important I break this down. Because when we say it begins in childhood infancy, right, people downplay this. They really do. But no, a lot of your childhood experiences, they make you.
Well, that's true.
All right? They really do.
And I guess through some small talk, I was able to talk to her, and eventually we somewhat became friends, or at least I thought I became friends there. In reality, she probably
lack of understanding of.
Okay, so what do we think about this guy off the bat, right? This is the guy, this is the video. I'm 25 years old. I've never had a girlfriend, okay? And he's relating, obviously, some experience with this girl that he met when he was back in high school. Now, actually, later on, Morpheus makes an interesting point, which is if you're still hung up at the age of 25 about stuff that happened in high school, that in itself is a bit of a red flag, really, because like I mean, I'm a lot older than this dude, but I never think about stuff that happened in high school, or very rarely anyway. And usually only for the purposes of giving examples on videos like this. And, you know, your life should have moved on a bit by now. To still be obsessing over this stuff, banging on about this stuff years later is not great.
Of two things, all right?
be with her friends.
Okay, what does this mean here, okay? He would talk to her in the cafeteria.
Lunch. It was kind of...
See, he would try to talk to her. That's persistence.
Me out.
Then I gotta be in the top 5.
I just want to find a bit where he just talks for a minute, you know? We want to hear him talking, really.
At all whatsoever.
It sucked, you know? I got rejected. And after that, she told her friends about it. And
Okay, so
All right, so I just wish there was a bit where he spoke uninterrupted without Morpheus banging on over the top of it. And as I say, this is the unfortunate thing because his actual original video has been taken down. And I did do quite a long search and tried to find it. I couldn't find it anywhere else. Anyway, overall, putting that to one side, what do we think of this guy? What do we think of how he looks? I would say, now Morpheus says he's a sub 5, okay? That is to say, in the scale of 1 to 10 for male aesthetic, male handsomeness, this guy's below 5. And for these doomer guys, that is a big problem. If you're below 5, you're basically off the radar, right? Women aren't going to touch you. They're not going to talk to you. They see you as effectively like subhuman or whatever. So that would be the narrative. That would be one narrative to explain why this has happened with this guy. Personally, I don't know. I don't think he's that bad looking, right? So I think there's a few things that we can see here immediately. I don't think he's terrible looking. I don't think he's ugly. I mean, let's put aside the sub 5 thing and all of that. You know, it's kind of this somewhat arbitrary measuring system, right? Which we may not never all agree on anyway. I don't think he's terrible looking. I think his haircut is pretty crap. You know, he's got like that kind of like 1990s boy band haircut. I think his dress sense doesn't look to be that good. I mean, if you look at that shot, right? I mean, we can just see his shoulders really, but it doesn't look to me that shirt is particularly well fitting. I don't know about the color. I'd have to speak to a fashion expert to get a sense of that. The color actually doesn't look too bad, I don't think, with his coloring, but it doesn't look like the shirt is particularly well fitting. More importantly than that, look at his face, right? So it looks to me. And again, I could be wrong here. I'm guessing. I haven't seen a full picture of him, but it looks to me like he's not in very good shape. Okay, and that makes a difference because it looks like his face is slightly on the puffier side. The other thing as well, and this is, there's all of this kind of hate that gets thrown at red pill people when they say that guys grow into themselves, and a guy's at his peak in his late 30s or his 30s, late 30s, and even going into your 40s, guys can be very successful in dating. And a lot of mud gets thrown at red pill people, dating coaches, for saying that. And basically it's like, no, it's a cope, it's guys in their 20s. And this hate or this disagreement gets thrown at us by other guys. Young guys will throw that comment in there. You'll get black pill guys who will throw that comment in there. You'll get women who will throw that comment in there as well and say, no, women only want people who are 2 years older than their max, blah, blah, blah. But I think this dude is a really good case in point because, as I say, the issue here is I don't think he's grown into his looks yet, okay? He looks very young, right? He looks baby-faced. He's quite puffy around the face. I think he should definitely be working out more. It doesn't look like he's got a lot of facial hair. Now, my facial hair is, I'm not growing a Wes Watson-style beard anytime soon, but, I definitely got a bit of stubble. I can pull off the old goatee thing quite well. This dude doesn't look like he's got any facial hair. And just generally, he looks too baby-faced, too youthful. He doesn't look like a dominant masculine guy. Okay, I don't think anybody can disagree with this. He doesn't look like a dominant masculine guy. Now, the first thing is he's 25. So he's going to grow into that, right? And this is where the naysayers will disagree with me, but, it happened to me. I believe that as a man does mature and certainly hits 30 and then gets into his 30s, he starts to grow into his looks more. Like, just naturally, this guy's going to look more masculine as he gets a little bit older. So that's one thing. The second thing is, as I say, to me, he doesn't look like he's in very good shape. I don't know if he goes to the gym. I don't know how frequently he's working out or what kind of workout routine he's doing, but I would say that is something with immediate attention, okay? He could also get a much better haircut, or at least go to a hairstylist and get some advice on, what would maybe suit him better than this kind of 90s boy band look. And he could also probably do a fashion makeover as well and get some better fitting clothes that make him look better. So there's 3 actionable things that he could do right now in order to improve, how he comes across in the dating marketplace. But the even bigger thing is notice the lack of effect that he displays as he's talking, right? Just look at his face, look at his eyes, look at his expression, and just look at this. It's very, very flat, okay? There's no emotion being shown there at all. It's very, very just monotone and kind of dull, and there's no fire behind the eyes at all, is there? And I would say, if I had to put money on it, I would say that is the biggest fucking problem of all. All right. And this is what we try to teach. We have our course, The Edge, still open, guys. Email me, troy@realtroyfrancis.com if you're interested. 10-week course with myself and James Tusk. But I mean, this is what we try to teach, right? You've got to have some fucking oomph about you. All right. And this guy has none. He's also got a bad haircut. He also looks out of shape. And he's also not very well dressed. And he's probably quite low status in life as well. So, you know, at the moment, everything is working against him. His looks, his actual baseline aesthetic, yeah, I mean, he's not Brad Pitt, but I don't think it's that bad. I don't think he's terrible. I don't think that's his biggest problem. I think he could improve significantly, but I think the thing that would really start to turn the dial for him would be the way that he comes across. And at the moment, he's coming across very badly, right? I mean, we're sitting here watching this. Well, there's guys and women watching, the video, but I mean, I'm sitting here watching this as a dude, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, this guy's a bit of a downer. He doesn't seem like a fun person to hang out with. Well, what do you think a hot girl's going to think? Right? I mean, she's going to be even less sympathetic than ever.